Welcome to the 206th episode of the So Video Games podcast, where we talk about any game at all, including new stuff, old stuff, and anything in between. If we are playing it, we'll be talking about it. Today we are recording again on November 14th, 2020. My name is Brad Galloway. I am the editor of GameCritics.com, and 50% of this here show with me is the world's biggest fan of fried chalupas, Carlos Rodella.
Oh, chalupa is very good. And I don't know what this accent is, but
I don't know.
It's the accent that came out when you said fried chalupa.
It's your chalupa eating accent. I guess I should send you one, and that's what you sound like.
I think it's Cookie Monster. Oh, chalupa. He's got that fried chalupa. Good for Cookie.
Nom,
Cookie.
nom, 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 nom,
did he call himself Cookie? Cookie Monster. What did he call himself?
I think didn't he call himself Cookie Monster? I think he said Cookie Monster, didn't he?
Yes, good for Cookie Monster. Did he say his whole name? That sounds weird now.
I don't know, man. I'm going to have to go back to the Sesame Street archives and figure that out. I don't know.
All right. Anyways, now I want a chalupa, you bastard.
Well, my wife and I were talking about this. You know, with coronavirus still being a thing, we don't really go out anywhere. My wife is an amazing cook. I am also a really good cook, and we've had some really great meals. But there are certain things that we just don't cook at home. And like yesterday, we were both on this Thai kick. Thai is one of the things that we don't really try to cook at home because, you know, we just can't do it justice, right?
Yeah.
And we were jonesing for some chai, some chai,
some chai lattes,
some chai lattes, and some Thai food to go with that chai. And I think a chalupa is probably something we also probably would not attempt.
Oh, chalupa. Every time I say the word now, that voice just comes out. But no, you know what? You can do the to-go and delivery Thai, which I've also done.
I just it skeeves me out, man, because I just imagine people with coronavirus coughing all over them noodles and stuff. I just can't do it. I just don't want to.
All right.
Anyway, that's enough of that depressing stuff. Folks, we are again going with a shorter show, more frequent show. I think we're going to try to change up our production line. We just got done recording 205. We're plowing ahead with number 206. Got no shortage of games to talk about, so I think we're going to just get right to it. But before we do that, let's take a moment to keep the house with Carlos.
Oh, I like that. Let's keep saying the way that you said it just now. Keep the house.
Let's keep the house with Carlos. Carlos, what part of the house are we keeping today?
Someone's got to clean up around here. It's a pigsty. No,
it's not that bad. Come on, it's just a couple of socks. Jeez.
It's just a couple things. I don't like a couple of socks on the ground. The only thing I'm going to say in my housekeeping is a little bit of update about Watch Dogs. I did beat it.
Watch Dogs Legion.
I beat it. It's one of those things where in these open world games, specifically like the third person open world games, you get to a point in the game, in the main campaign, and even though it's an open world game, there's a million side missions, you just get razor focused on beating it, you know? It's like that
yes.
point of no return, you know?
Yes.
And you go, cool, I see all those, like, the grandma that I can help, and she's got this whole attic that needs to get cleaned. Going back to housekeeping. There's a whole, side mission with someone who just got kidnapped. Let him be kidnapped because I got to finish this game. So I just beeline. I was like, okay, I got to figure this out. And there is a normal, easy, and hard mode, and I turned that motherfucker to easy.
I was just going to ask you if you could adjust it in the middle of a campaign.
You sure as hell can. And anyone listening, if you're in the middle of that game, go ahead and do that. Because you know why? Because when you're done with the game, spoiler, it's never over. Because these open world games just keep going and season pass. So I'm actually...
Well, how many hours did you get to before you felt like, okay, I'm ready to roll credits on this thing? 20, 30?
You mean before, like, I was like, I needed to mainline it and go for it?
Yeah. Like, how far did you get before you're like, okay, I got to wrap this up thing, like, right now? Like, how far did you get? Like, 20
I think about 20 hours, about 20 right. Hours? Yeah, I was like, wow, I've been playing this for off and on for a week or two, and, like, this is really fun. And then I was like, okay, I need to know what the fuck happens. Like, and also, you're fighting, like, you're a revolutionary, essentially. You're, like, fighting against this fascist regime and, this bad system that you don't like, and they keep fucking you over, so you want to, like, topple it. Again, a lot of the stuff is prescient, as they say. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, you're dead correct.
By the way, the wrong way to speak is the way that I do, where you say a word and then you go, is that the right word? Is that the word you used, Brad?
I mean, you do what you got to do, man. You take your best guess and, own it, and then maybe check for confirmation afterwards. But you nailed that one, buddy. You were dead on.
It is very prescient. So anyways, it does a couple things that these games do, Watch Dogs games and open world games, where near the end there's a couple things that aren't necessarily the main gameplay, which I always hate. They're like, do this puzzle, but it's also a little bit harder this time because you got to fly a drone and also do the puzzle, or these types of like little mini games or whatever, but not too many of them. And when I got to the end, even with easy mode, I didn't feel like I was like, oh, I'm really gonna play this ending sequence like 25 times or something. I actually did it like a couple times, which was refreshing. I was like, oh, I've done it.
Okay, so just a couple tries on the last mission.
Couple tries on the last, yeah, and I love that because, and again, we talked about it in the show. Go ahead and throw that easy mode in, especially for things like endings. Astro Playroom, I'm looking at you, because you want the person that bought your game and supported you to have a good experience and also to finish that experience. There's so many people who don't finish games, me included. So right. I was very happy to be able to switch to easy, feel like my characters, role-playing a little, were strong enough to beat this fucking game. Like we had built up an army. We were like ready to beat this. And so I felt really good about beating it. So I won't talk about the ending, but it's satisfying. And of course you get back to your base and there's more to do because that's what these games do. But I'm very excited because as I talked about in last episode, I have a PS5 and I'm going to tonight upgrade my Watch Dogs.
Is it a free upgrade to the PS5?
Free upgrade, yeah.
Ah, okay.
So
that's cool.
Get fancy graphics added and see what it looks like and then go do some more missions because, spoiler, this game is really fun. Like, Watch Dogs Legion is fun.
Excellent.
So, very much had a good time. That's my housekeeping. I beat it. I highly recommend people beat it. Go, because you want to see the ending of that story. And also, just switch it to easy and you'll be good.
Excellent. Sounds good. I'm interested in that one. I really like the concept. Haven't cracked it yet. I got a pretty full plate right now, but I'm definitely going to try to get to it before the end of the year if possible. Although, man, we're kind of running out of time. It's already November. Jeez, where's the time go?
Yeah.
Let me take over for a bit here. Let me talk about a couple games. A while ago, I got a code for a game called Colt Canyon. This was on the Switch. I believe it's also on PC. It is a roguelike. As you know, I'm Mr. Roguelike.
You are Mr. Roguelike.
It is like a Western-themed 2D roguelike where your characters look like little Atari 2600 characters, but I don't say that as an insult. I think they look really cute and cool. The whole game is extremely minimalist, which I'm totally fine with. I think it really works. And what happens is you go from left to right, and you have a gun. You can pick up more guns on the way. You've got a limit of bullets. And you basically just like walk around shooting bad guys before they shoot you. You ultimately want to get to the other side. You're going from west to east, so you want to get to the east side of the map and rescue your buddy who's been kidnapped. Pretty straightforward, pretty solid, action-based twitch reflexes sort of a game. You can also sneak up on people if they are not looking directly at you to take them out with your knife in one hit, or you just can shoot them with your gun, shotgun, bow and arrow, variety of guns like that. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. I think it really works. I did not review it 6 months ago when I first got the code because the developer at that time said it was having problems on Switch, and they were asking if I wouldn't mind putting a pin in it until they had fixed it. I said, cool, let me know when it's good to go, and they never did. So I just remembered that I owned it the other day. I'm like, oh, well, I guess I owe you guys a review 6 months later. So here it is. I think it's pretty good. I think if you want a very simple action roguelike that's easy to jump in and jump out, you can do a 5-minute session, 10-minute session, and feel like you got a good experience. I think it works. My only caveat is that with the shooting is a little bit precise, and if you're using it in handheld mode on the Switch, those sticks do not feel great. If you've got a Pro Controller, definitely do the Pro Controller, or maybe play it in docked mode with the Pro Controller. I think that would be better. It's playable, but there were definitely a few times when stuff started going down when I felt like the Switch Joy-Cons were not up to the task. You know what I'm saying? Like they're a bit loosey-goosey. They're great for like moving in a direction, but when you talk about precision shooting, not the greatest. I mean, have you had that experience as well, Carlos?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I feel like I've never had a Twitch gaming experience on the Switch. Twitch Switch. That I felt good about. I always feel like it's too short or something. Like I don't know. There's something to it that doesn't feel tight enough, like you said. So I wouldn't want that experience, I don't think, on the Switch.
It's weird. If you can do it on the D-pad, and Colt Canyon does not do the D-pad, but if you can play a Twitch game on the D-pad, like there are some other action games I played that feel pretty good using just the buttons and stuff.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the sticks, it's like, man, it can't hang. So that's my only caveat. I think this is a really cool looking game. It's really minimalist, great design. I think it's fun to play for 5-10 minutes at a time, which is perfect for, when you just need a little taste of something. But definitely, like, if you really want to get far and achieve something, you're going to have to do the Pro Controller or figure out some other alternate control because the Joy-Cons can't get it done. But overall, I really like Colt Canyon a lot. I think it's really neat. It's another great roguelike to add to the Switch library. 2020 is the year of roguelikes, man. There's so many great roguelikes this year, and this is one more to add to the pile.
So many that I won't play any of them. But anyways, is there an ending? Is it kind of a story where there's an actual ending?
I believe you can finish it. I have gotten nowhere near the end of it because I was kind of struggling with the Joy-Cons. But yeah, you can finish it. You rescue your buddy. There's a bunch of stuff to unlock, different characters. There's like a lady, a gunslinger. There's like a bartender guy. There's like a Native American person. There's
a Native American in the game?
There is.
And they're playable?
They are playable, yes.
Oh my goodness. We would talk about this recently on Twitter. There's like no games like that. And me being Native, I'm like, want that more in games, so I just play it just for that section.
Yeah, she's actually one of the better characters. I haven't unlocked everybody, but I do like her the best so far because her bow and arrow is really strong, and I really like the way that it plays, and she's a pretty cool character. So, but yeah, I think it's really great. Colt Canyon is pretty much a win if you want a little bite-sized roguelike. I think it's good stuff.
I might pick it up on the Switch just for that reason.
Just for that reason, support the representation. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Man. Let me know if you think they do a good job portraying that person.
Yep.
All right, let's turn it back over to you. We talked about this, I think, 2 shows ago, and you really piqued my curiosity. We are back to talk about it now. A game on PC called Wizard and Slug.
Yes, Wizard and the Slug.
And the Slug. Okay, excuse
me.
Wizard and the Slug.
It's on Steam, and full disclosure, got a code for this game a little while ago and was playing it. And this is kind of a mini housekeeping at the beginning of it. It's a platformer, and it's got comedy in it. So it's a comedy platformer, essentially, and a little bit of shooting. Well, a lot of it is shooting, and we'll get to that in a minute. But I was playing the game and got to a boss in the early section of the game. I mean, early. And the boss kept killing me, and I mean, like, consistently. Just no way past this boss. And it was so early in the game. So I emailed the developer, and I was like, yo, bro, I can't finish this because of this fucking thing. What the hell? And they were like super cool, like they are with you a lot of times, and they patched it. And they fucking updated it.
Oh shit, are you serious?
Yeah. And
my god, that is hilarious and amazing.
And it's like so much better. There's a couple of things they did. One, they just made that one section, that one boss, a little bit easier because you used to die a little quicker, and you die less quick now, and all I needed was a little bit less of dying, and I'll get to the gameplay in a minute, to be able to beat him. And so they did that. They added like a little bit of more ability for me not to die so quickly, and I beat the boss, and then I saw the rest, a lot of the game, not the full thing. I haven't finished it, but so thank you for that. So cool of them to update it, not just for me. Maybe they heard that from other people, but so what is the game? You play as a little slug, and I'm going to read the introduction to it, like just straight away, because it's the best way to explain what this game is. Here is the description. When a fugitive wizard meets a forest slug, a strange friendship is born. Together they traverse an oddball fantasy world, unraveling the mystery surrounding an ancient curse. Play as the fastest, most agile slug in video game history, together with your spellcasting wizard companion. It's a team-up you never knew you wanted. Strong focus on humor and character interactions. So you play as a slug, you move left to right, it's a platformer, but when you jump, you lose a piece of your body and you get smaller, like a Mario. You jump again, like a double jump, you become the smallest version of yourself, but those 2 little pieces are essentially a shooter, right? So those pieces that fall off you are things that can hurt people. Does that make sense?
Hold on a second. My mind is kind of going for a spin here. So you're a slug. you jump and a piece of your body falls off. Which, number one, I'm like, why? Because that's not how slugs work. Is it slime off your body, or what? Is it just
you
just
could
a
call
chunk
it
of your
that.
body?
It's a little circle, like a little ball. So essentially, this game's like a platformer shooter. So let's say you're not jumping. Let's say you're just going left to right, and as you're going right, there's an enemy. You want to shoot him. You push the shoot button, and when you shoot, you shoot a little ball at him. But that little ball is part of you. So now you're only half the size. You shoot again. You shoot another ball, and that ball might kill the monster. But now you're the smallest version of yourself. So there's like,
but the ball also comes off you when you jump.
And the ball also comes after you when you jump, which is weird, yes. But you can also jump and then shoot, too, and the ball will come off you as well. So it's a little hard to explain without just playing it, but it works. It's, again, similar to the story that I never knew I wanted. It's a very interesting mechanic that it's interesting, you know? I can't say that I'm, like, sold on it and, like, where has this been all my life? But it's interesting, and it changes up the way it's a risk-reward, right? So say you're jumping over a pit, and the pit's obviously dangerous. You jump once, and you're gonna double jump, and that second double jump, you're losing part of your body, which means you're more vulnerable. So if all of a sudden you hit another spike or a monster comes by, you could die. So it's like these little puzzle within the way that you're not just an all destructive slug that's just killing things with your shooting, you know. So that's the interesting mechanic. Then also you meet this wizard. And she flies, I think it's a lady? Yes. Well, she's an immortal. And you are a mortal slug, because of course. And she'll fly in and out of, like, the gameplay to help you in different sections.
Do you control her, or is this automatic?
No, automatic. She's just kind of doing her own thing and helping out here and there. And then also you just meet other characters. And this whole game, the only reason you'd pick it up, in my opinion, that puzzle mechanic with the shooting and jumping is fun. But it's really about the weird characters and story. Like, it's a funny game. There's a lot of really interesting, funny moments. It feels like Adventure Time. So if you like Adventure Time at all, it's like a platformer with some shooting mixed with Adventure Time. That's what this game is. And I'm playing it, and I'm still going to play it until I beat it because of I want to know the little story interactions that happen. And it definitely has that, like, Mario feel, too. But here's the thing. There's these weird little moments that mini-games pop up. So a good example is I found these characters, and I was going to join their club because they have a secret club. And they were like, okay, cool. The first thing we do to see if you're going to be in the club is we have to play volleyball. And then now I'm playing volleyball against, like, these other people in the secret club to see if I can, like, join the club or something. And that whole mini game was really fun. Like, you're, like, hitting the ball back and forth with your same slug mechanics. I know this sounds weird. I'm hearing myself say it. But
I think I get what you're saying. I mean, I think I've played. I would be very hard pressed to tell you another game that uses this mechanic, but I know other games have done this before or something similar to this. So I think I have a ballpark of what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's essentially interesting mechanics, funny humor. It has multiple endings, which is cool for a platformer. I always like that. And really cool, weird, quirky music. You meet a banana at some point. He talks.
Of course you do.
You know, he joins your team. And a lot of little funny dying moments. Like, you know, you'll see like a pit and you're like, should I jump down there? And you jump down there and get the achievement for, like, went down the pit of death. You know, that kind of stuff.
Sure.
So it's cute. It's fun. It's got an interesting new mechanic. I recommend it. I definitely recommend it. And now that they patched it, not only did they make a couple sections a little easier, but they put on the option of, like, you can shoot 1 million balls out instead of you just, like, you know, shoot a few and then you go down to your small form. And they also put in mortality on it. So if you want to just get to the end, or you're having a really hard part with a puzzle, you can put on invulnerability, essentially. So they put those little options in there, which actually help, because the whole game is really about, like, learning about these characters and hearing the funny stories that are happening. So I really like that they did that.
Yeah. I mean, more options are always better, right? Maybe somebody likes the mechanics, but maybe they just don't have the skill, or maybe they don't have the patience, or maybe they just want to enjoy the story, like you said. Having options is great.
Yeah, like I mentioned with Watch Dogs, it's just like you get to a point you really do want to finish this experience, especially if there's multiple endings. I'm right probably smack dab in the middle of the game, and if I ever have a problem, I just turn it on for a minute, get past that section, and going back to the gameplay. So I'm having a hoot. Like I just played volleyball with a slug. I mean,
excellent.
And I have a banana friend, and there was a cat at some point, and there's a flying wizard. And it's ridiculous. It's Adventure Time, the platformer shooter.
What more could you want? That sounds like a very fun time. I will look forward to it coming to the Switch or somewhere else. Sounds like my kind of jam. So that is the Wizard and the Slug. Currently on Steam, but I'm hoping it's going to come on some other platforms.
Yeah, I hope it comes to the Switch. That's a perfect match for the Switch.
Excellent. All right, let me take over for a second here. We have one more giant meaty game to get to, but I got to mention one thing before I turn it back over to you, Carlos. Want to give a quick talk on Yuppie Psycho Executive Edition. Currently playing it on the Switch. This game is also on PC. I think it's on the other platforms as well, but I'm definitely playing on Switch, and Switch, it feels pretty amazing there. Are you familiar with this game at all, Carlos?
I wanted to play it. I think I saw it, and it looked like Mob Psycho, the anime. Is that the one?
I have not watched Mob Psycho. It's on my list of things to watch. I don't know. Probably not. Did you ever play the Count Lucanor?
I did play the Count. We talked about it. Did we talk about this show?
I think we probably did. This is the next game from the people who made Count Lucanor, Baroque Decay. I am a big, big, big fan of their work. I loved the Count Lucanor, which is also on Switch. It's on other platforms as well. Wonderfully dark fairy tale 2D kind of top-down adventure game. Loved that game. It was one of my top 10 of the year when it came out. This is their next game, Yuppie Psycho, and the Switch is getting the Executive Edition, which adds a couple more hours of gameplay, a couple more locations to the base game that PC players got. Basically, it's kind of following the same template as Count Lucanor, which in my book is a fine thing. You play as a guy named Brian Pasternak. He gets a job offer at a corporation far from home, travels to the big city to take this job offer, which he feels like he won the lottery because it's like a big company and he's like basically a nobody, and he's like, man, this is amazing, they wanted to hire me. Gets there and it's just not exactly what he expected. Once he gets inside the building, again, top down 2D pixel art, kind of an adventure sort of a game, but there's also some real-time elements. What happens is they want to hire him, and at first they tell him it's for something else. But really what they want him to do is to hunt a witch who is let loose in the building somewhere. So he doesn't know anything about witch hunting. He thinks he's going to be like an office drone. So he's a little bit taken aback, but the offer is too good to refuse. He could really use that cash, right? Yeah. So he decides to go along with it. And it kind of spirals off into like this really dark, surreal journey with Brian kind of taking on more and more crazy tasks that are just further and further outside the realm of normalcy. Along with the environment that he's in is kind of I don't know necessarily that it's a skewering of corporate culture, but there is some elements of that also. A lot of just like surrealist, dark, really grim kind of crazy stuff. Like you see the people in the building and you just wonder what in the world is going on here. People crawling around on all fours, people like that look like they're dead, but they're still alive. There's like lots of darkness. There's spiders, there's blood, all sorts of stuff that you wouldn't expect to see in a normal office building. But then there's also some people who are acting like it's totally normal and no big deal. So you kind of go back and forth with this weird tone between what is happening, why is this so strange, why do you not think it's strange, is this really strange, am I imagining this, is it real, is it not real? It's just really excellently done, dark, strange, scary. It has a similar fairy tale tone where like basically anything can happen, kind of like the Count Lucanor. And I mean, so far I'm really liking it. There's a couple caveats, but so far I'm really digging it. Does this sound at all like your jam, Carlos?
Yeah, I'm like, so it's like wish listed already. Like, I mean, it has overwhelmingly positive on Steam, and I love Count Lucanor, and this feels like Count Lucanor. And now I know why I said Mob Psycho, because obviously it's called Yuppie Psycho, but it's got that anime art style a little bit, at least on the graphics for the the thumbnail. But man, it looks really cool. Always weird. Count Lucanor did that same thing where you're like, is this real? What's going on? Like questioning stuff.
Yeah, exactly. You never know. You never know what's real and what's not.
Yeah.
I like this game a lot. I really like the tone. I love the art. I love the concept. I love the characters. I love basically everything about it.
But
It's a small but, and I'll tell you, like, I got this code a while ago. Full disclosure, the developers went out of their way to send me this code because they knew I was such a huge fan of Count Lucanor. I was banging the drum for Lucanor for a long time, and I still will. I love that game. But so my issue with this game is it's kind of difficult to describe, but basically, I don't know if you remember, but in Count Lucanor, the saving was unusual saving. You had to find a gold coin, and you needed to throw that coin into a fountain in order to save. But there were a limited number of coins, and you also needed to use those coins to buy things. So it was very much like, oh my god, I have a limit to the saving. I got to kind of push forward. I should save as little as possible, but I don't want to, like, lose too much progress if I die. And it was like this weird tension. And I thought it worked pretty well because in the Count Lucanor, you could die, but it wasn't like you were constantly fending off combat. Like, it was pretty clear when you were in a dangerous situation and when you weren't. They've kind of carried that forward here in Yuppie Psycho, but instead of gold coins, you find special copy paper called witch paper. And when you make a copy of it, you put your face on the copy machine and it copies your soul, and that is how you save. So it's interesting. The problem that I'm having is, I guess part of it is like where I'm at in life right now, where I'm a really busy guy and I've got a kid and I've got multiple responsibilities during the day. And to put a limit on the saving like that, I understand what they're doing because I thought it was cool in Count Lucanor and I was able to work with it. But I think they've kind of upped the number of times that you can take damage in this game. I noticed that I'm monitoring my health a lot more because I'm getting hit by more things that are able to harm you. There's more monsters that can damage you. There's like a whole system of where you got to like find food to eat to put your life back. And I feel like maybe there's a little bit too much like life management going on. And that combined with the limited amount of witch paper that you find, which means a limited amount of times you can save, means that I kind of don't want to play it when I just have a few minutes, right? Like, I kind of wish I could just jump in and out. But let's say, for example, I get in bed, right? I get in bed, I'm like, okay, I want to play some Switch before I go to bed. I want to play some Yuppie Psycho, but I don't know how long it's going to be before I find more witch paper, and I've only got like 3 pieces, and I got to be really careful with those because I might need to use those to sell to somebody, or maybe how far do I play before I save? Because I don't want to go through them too quickly because then I'll get stuck, right? And I'll get stuck playing a long section without any witch paper, and then I'll be screwed. So I don't want to do that. So what ends up happening is I'll get in bed and I'll be like, well, I'm kind of tired. I want to play 15 minutes of Yuppie Psycho, but I don't know when I'm going to be able to save, and I can't go through my paper supply. So then I'm like, well, I'm just not going to play this because I don't know. I don't have a reliable way of saving that is like no cost saving, right?
Wait. Why don't you just put it in a sleep mode?
Because I'd want to be like, oh, okay, well, I want to play some Yuppie Psycho, but then I want to play a P-Cross before I go to bed, or I might want to do a little bit of
play a different game.
Yeah, I might want to play a little bit of Bomber Crew. I do like 2 missions of Bomber Crew every night before I go to bed because I want to finish that game. I want to play a little bit of, like anything like Scourgebringer or something before I go to bed. I want to play some Crown Trick. So like when I'm in bed and when I'm playing the Switch, I want to play like a little bit of a lot of games. And this is a situation where I have to commit to Yuppie Psycho. And I love it. Like, it's a great game. I love the story, love the graphics, I love the gameplay, I love everything about it. But what I don't love is the save system anymore. It doesn't work for me anymore because now I feel like it's keeping me away from the game because I never know when I can save, and I don't want to put myself in a position where I'm stuck. So therefore, I just don't play it, which is a problem, right?
Well, I agree, but I also have an answer. So
okay.
I agree because I actually remember, now that you brought that up in Count Lucanor, I mean, that was the only frustrating part for me. But like you said, you weren't really like dying a lot, so I didn't feel like too nervous about it. The risk reward wasn't as huge. And again, I don't know in this game, but if it is more in this game, that kind of sucks. Also, it's weird that it takes your soul. Secondly, the answer for you is just play it at the end. Then you can put it in sleep mode.
Yeah, but then by that time I'm kind of tired, and it's like I gotta like focus, and
it's very specific to your sleeping.
It is a very specific thing. Like if you play this during the day and you don't have any other Switch games going on, and you're awake, like it's fine. But it's weird that it falls right into this zone for me where it's very problematic for me to play because it's disrupting my usual Switch schedule. Yeah. So I mean, I love it otherwise, and I'm going to have to just push through it somehow because I got to play this game. I really want to see where it goes. I got to finish it up. I got to review this, and I really want to share the good word about it because I think it's a great thing. Well, I kind of wish they didn't do the same thing with the saving because it's kind of cramping my style a little bit.
Let me really quick go back to really miniature tangent that we mentioned on the show already. Is it comes back to that quality of life, like you said, and developers. If you want the players to experience your story and see the ending and, tell other people about it, then more options are better. We just talked about it a couple of times, I think, on the show with the easy mode, invulnerability, or whatever it is. And how about this? Not even asking for invulnerability, just asking for a fucking save point. I think that's totally reasonable to ask for. I don't. What is the benefit of making it limited versus the detriment? Because right now it sounds like it's not worth it, because essentially you're having someone who might not ever play your game again.
No, you're exactly right, dude. The risk reward for this, I mean, they want to create tension, right? They want you to be scared and to, you're going to lose progress if you die and you haven't saved, but you got limited saves, so you can't constantly save. And in fact, that happened to me. I was getting kind of low on witch paper, so I pushed through this one section that I hadn't been to before, ended up getting killed, and I had to redo like 25 minutes of gameplay, which was like a huge, I don't know about you, man, but I really don't like repeating stuff over and over. And
well, of course I don't. I don't like roguelikes.
Well, exactly. So that was like a big, kind of damper on it, right? I lost that about 25 minutes of gameplay. Had to go through that whole thing, pick up all the items, talk to the same people, do the same tasks over and over. It really kind of harshed my mellow a little bit. And so now I notice that I'm just not playing the game because I don't want to deal with the save system, which is wrong, because this is a great game. I love this game. I love everything about it except for the save system. So I'm going to have to just suck it up and get through it, because I really like this game a lot. But so that is Yuppie Psycho Executive Edition. I do recommend it. Just be aware of the save system. And if they could patch in 1,000 pieces of witch paper, my problem would be solved, and I'd be happy.
Yeah.
So anyway,
by the way, 1,000 pieces of witch paper is called the save system.
Yeah,
just with a save system.
Exactly. It kind of reminds me of back in the day when you needed an ink ribbon to save in Resident Evil, and
remember those fucking passcode wheels and stuff, because we're old enough.
Yeah,
it was all these weird, you'd have to put in a Nintendo, what was it? I don't know, I forget what the game, but Kid Icarus, I think. Kid Icarus.
Metroid too.
Yeah, Metroid. Yeah, all those weird characters and stuff. No, just it's modern. Let's give us a save point.
Yeah, I know why they did it. I get why they did it. It worked for me before. It's working less for me now, and also because the game is just a little bit more deadly than Lucanor was. So that's my only downside. Other than that, this game is Gold Star, A+ all the way through. But that save system, I gotta suck it up and get through it. So anyway, I will report back later on. Otherwise, big thumbs up. I really like Yuppie Psycho a lot. Carlos, let's turn it back over to you for the final game of this show. It's kind of a biggie. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. A lot of people playing it. A lot of people talking about it. I don't know much about it other than it's an AC game and that it is Viking oriented. So apparently there's been a lot of changes with the formula, a lot of change ups. They freshen up what they've been doing. Tell us all about Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot to talk about. I'm going to try to do a shortened version now, because I will be playing it for a while. And it is an Assassin's Creed game in the very much light of Origins and Odyssey. Which, did you play either of those?
I bought Odyssey 3 times. I haven't started it yet, and I have not played or bought Origins.
And I might have talked about both of them on the show, I'm guessing.
I think you did. I want to play Odyssey a lot, but I just haven't made the time. People say it's huge, so I keep putting it off.
I played probably the same as I played Witcher 3. I played Odyssey that long, probably.
Man, and that's big.
It's big, and that's what these guys are doing well. Assassin's Creed Origins and Odyssey. With their DLC, these epic open worlds that really did focus on, I don't like saying this out loud because so many people say it now, but the RPG elements. It is true, though. They really did more leveling, upgrading your character, upgrading your weapons. So I did like that about it. This is essentially the same as Odyssey, Assassin's Creed, but it's Vikings, the TV show. So you know me, I love Vikings, the TV show. This is playing that. Straight up, playing Vikings TV show. You control, and you can pick a man or a woman in the beginning, but as you know, the Assassin's Creed still has the real world is a person, Layla, who's in an animus, thing, and she's acting out all the stuff in the Assassin's Creed world. So, but when they do give you the option at some point to pick man or woman as the Viking that you're controlling. So once you are in the world, the Viking world, you are basically controlling a Viking in a very, very cool story that I very, very much like, and I won't spoil any of it, but it's, again, like playing out a series or a season of the Vikings TV show. And you are taking over and raiding towns, getting resources, upgrading your weapons, and at some point, this is not a spoiler, but you get a town, and like many games we've reviewed, you get resources for that town and then build up that town, right? I don't know if you knew that part was in the game. But
I did not know that part, but it's reminding me a little bit of Far Cry Primal, because you got a village in that game and you kind of built it up the same way. So in this game, I mean, so I guess same open world sort of thing, but you just come back to your home base and like build up resources, like add huts and houses and stuff. Or like, what do you do there?
Yeah, build. It's so on the nose. Like build your armory, build your food area, all that stuff. And by the way, it's very similar to the Vikings show as well, because you go to England at some point and you're trying to essentially establish your little clan and having a new land there, and build a little village there. So that's why you're doing all these little raids, because you're essentially raiding the English. And you're doing some bad stuff. You're killing a bunch of people that were just minding their own business and taking the resources so you can build up your own land. So kind of a dick move. But there is no, it doesn't get super dark. Let's just say that.
It's funny you bring that up, dude, because do you like Viking stuff? Have you watched The Norsemen on Netflix?
Yeah, it's the comedy one, yeah.
The comedy one is really good. So they kill a lot of English folks in that. And we are also watching Horrible Histories with my son, and they talk about Viking stuff all the time. And that's all Vikings did back then. They went and killed helpless English people on the coast. Like that was like their main source of income and profit was like killing English dudes. So yeah, I didn't realize that until this year, but yeah, I have a very different view of Vikings.
By the way, there's a really interesting mechanic. We'll talk about the graphics in a minute because I'm playing this on PS5. I forgot to mention that.
Nice. Okay.
So, but while we were raiding that one town, the first time I did a raid, I was just doing some other things like killing people, and turned around and they had set fire to some of the houses, and the fire looks like it does a little bit of physics where it burns and then smoke happens, which is unique and nowadays, and then it like actually stays charred. It isn't. It's not like a new house after it burns. It's like, no, they just burnt that house down. So it looks a little bit like that. But I just funny because I turned around like, hey, you guys, no one said anything about putting things on fire. Like I thought we were just getting the resources and leaving. They're like, no, Carlos, this is how we do things. We burn everything down.
Destroying, pillaging, ravishing.
So let me just real quick. So the basic gameplay is that. It's Odyssey, but with Vikings, okay? You don't need to know anything else. It's beautiful. It's essentially The Witcher. Like, this one is the most The Witcher than ever before. So, and this is, I won't go back to the Animus stuff, but you and it's very, very polarizing, I'm guessing, if people like the Animus section or the real world section.
Like the modern
day stuff. That's always in these games, and I think they should just get rid of it, and the developers should make a game like this and just make it a standalone game.
I mean, hasn't that what everybody, like, basically like 90% of the Assassin's Creed audience says get rid of the Animus stuff, right? Like, I don't really know many people who do like it.
Now, I will say this about it. I agree with them, and I think that their next game should definitely be just another game that's called something else, right? But uses all these mechanics. They do it very well, and I can tell that I'm going to be playing this game pretty much as long as The Witcher. Like, it's beautiful and great. But yeah, maybe get rid of it. But I will say this, real quick side note about the Animus stuff. When Layla comes out of her Animus, and she's in the real world, the modern world, they've kind of like fucked up the planet. So it's a little bit like, ooh, to use it again, prescient.
That's the word of the week.
Yes, the word of the week. Because essentially like the world is like, they call it sick. Like something's wrong with the world, the modern world. And I was like, tell me about it. Yeah, I know something's wrong with the world. So, anyways, interesting side note there. But I always like just jump right back into the Animus. I'm like, fuck off. I want to go back and be a Viking. So I'm playing on the PS5. The graphics are beautiful. Ray tracing is real. I'm here to tell you, ray tracing really makes a difference. The lighting, that's all it means, is like lighting is really cool and can reflect off a lot of surfaces. The game is fucking beautiful. You just want to be in the world. Like the shadows are really cool. Just traversing. It's just fun. Like
let me ask you for a second, dude. So
yeah,
this all sounds great. Like, but I guess I guess the fundamental thing that I want to know is how has this formula shifted? Like, are you still going over a giant area, open world, just kind of like checking off the boxes, doing it? I mean, is there more focus to it? Because when I saw some videos before the game came out, they were like, okay, we're going to size it down. We're not going to be so huge. We're going to get a more focused experience. People say they're tired of doing the open world collect-a-thon, check box work. Does it feel like it's more focused, like there's more purpose to it? Is it smaller, or does it feel like the exact same enormous, a million question marks on the map kind of Assassin's Creed thing? Like, what does it feel like?
Very good segue. It is not as open world and million side quests. You're right. And it is more focused. And if I right now, after I finish this podcast, go back and play the main campaign, I could very easily just play the main campaign all night because it is very good storytelling. Again, I love the Vikings TV show. It's just like the Vikings TV show. It is very focused on telling this story, and the land is smaller, right? It's still a big map, but it's not like impossibly big and all these different islands you go to. It's like it's more focused in its map size. It's more focused in the fact that it just really wants you to experience the main campaign. And all the side stuff is there, but for some reason it doesn't feel as tempting, if that makes sense.
Sure, it just feels like less relevant, or
it just feels like, oh, I could do that, but the main campaign's so compelling. Why wouldn't I just do this main thing?
Okay.
Secondarily, here's some really interesting things. One, to help that focus, you aren't getting a million random loot drops. In all those other games, it was like, oh, I got a little bit better of a sword. It's RNG and stuff like that.
Right.
But this is like, no, you're not going to get anything new for a long time. You just better upgrade your sword you have or your axe. And then maybe after this big mission, you'll get a new weapon. But that really helps because then you're not like going on a million side missions to find bow +5,
Right. So like more meaningful upgrades and less time spent on like inventory management and loot and stuff?
Yeah, totally. Like I inventory screen very few times. I'm more like, well, what's the story? What's the next thing I want to do? Which is great. Here's another thing that no one's talking about. That similar to Gray Skies, developers, please take this chunk out and do more of. The side missions, and I'll give you an example of one, you don't have to win them. Like certain ones you don't have to win. I'm not sure if it's all of them, but I've played 2 main side missions right now, or well, 2 main ones that I'll talk about, and I didn't like finish it the right way, but it just said like, oh, that's it. That's your end. You're done with it. And I'll explain that because you need explaining. It doesn't make sense if I don't finish. So there's one where you have to fight people. It's like, come over here and show them that you're man enough to fight and win the big fight. And you're like, okay, I'll do the fight side quest. I did the fight side quest and fucking got my ass beat, right? And I was like acting all tough before, but it was too hard for me at this time. So I hit one of them and I got one of them down, but the other person beat me. So I go over to the guy and expecting him to be like, any video game, well, try again. But
right.
He was like, well, you bested one of them. Pretty good. Here's some silver. And that's it.
Just move on, huh?
Yeah, but it said mission complete. And motherfucker, developers do that more often. That's great. It felt like a real world situation. Here's another one. I found this guy and he goes, hey, there's this warlock and he killed my sister. All right. I got to finish the story like this voice now.
And then I was just going to say, we switch into an accent here.
Here we go. And so he killed my sister. You got to go help me. And I go, okay, here, what do you want me to do? So I go talk to the warlock, and the warlock says, listen, I didn't kill the sister. I was trying to cure her with some medicine. And so I go back to the guy, and I go, listen, he was trying to cure your sister. What are you doing here? I don't want to go kill this guy. He was trying to cure her. And he goes, he guy's full of bullshit. All right? He killed my sister. So I go, listen, I don't want to kill him because I can't tell what happened. So I backed away, and I let that guy kill the warlock.
And the story just kind of progressed.
And the story ended. He goes, oh, good. Thanks for helping. Well, it kind of fucked up because I didn't really help. I took a couple swings, but then I was confused, and I just backed away. And I was like, I don't want to fight anybody. So it ended, though, and it goes, well, I killed him, and I got my justification. So here, take this one thing, and I'm going to go now. Isn't that great?
Interesting. So do you feel... I mean, I definitely... I'm interested in that design where things progress and things happen regardless of whether you quote unquote win or lose. Do you feel like it changed the story for you, or do you feel like you just got like silver instead of gold?
No, it changes the story because here's the thing. I role play hardcore when I'm in these open worlds, right? And we want more of it. And I talk about this on the show all the time. I want more AI. I want more world building. I want more consequences and multiple endings. I want to feel like what the fuck we're doing in these open worlds matters, to your point. And so in this one, I feel it's a perfect example. I learned about both sides of the story. I called bullshit on that one guy because I think the warlock wasn't a warlock. He was really just feeding her medicine. But I can't tell. So I backed away and I let the scene play out. Fucking brilliant. Bravo, developers, because the story played out in a different way. And again, I role play and leave the mountain going like, well, I know what my choice was in that scenario. So
what about the combat scenario where you only beat the one guy instead of the both guys? Do you feel like that other guy is going to like come back later on in the campaign, or do you feel like that only beating one of the two guys diverged your story path, or was that not as big a deal?
I tell you what, I hope he does, because A, I'm ready for him this time, and B, that would be great. That would be great world building. I don't know if that's going to happen. I feel like that a lot of these side quests are small enough that they're just like contained units. But again, it goes a long way when it comes to role playing. I just say a couple more things before we leave this, and this is not like a full review. Obviously, I love it. I'm already saying that these positive things, but it has a Gwent type thing in it with like dice. So essentially, there's like a Gwent game in it. So this is The Witcher. And it has a very unique battling system called flighting, where you do rhyme battles against people. You heard me. Okay. You heard me. Rhyming
No, that makes
battles.
sense. That makes sense. The Vikings were very big, like, oral history, storyteller people, a lot of rhyming. That's definitely checks out with the history that I know about them. So that makes sense.
Yeah, it's actually fun to do. And I actually, every time I see a flighting mission, I do it. And when you do it, when you win a flighting mission, your charisma goes up. This game is great. It does so many unique little things. It's like one of those games do like a bunch of little things. They all add up to the overall feel of it.
Right.
It just feels like The Witcher. I can't say it enough. It's The Witcher meets the Viking TV show. And if you're playing on the PS5, ridiculous graphics. I love it. I fucking love it. And I think
one last question. We got to wrap up here, but one last question. I think you mentioned this, and I think I just missed it. The main character's name is Ivor, and it seems to take a really heavy narrative stance design-wise. But you can be a female Ivor or a male Ivor, is that correct?
Yeah. In the beginning, it says you can be, which is interesting. I forgot to mention this. It says you can be male or female, or you can let the game decide. And I was like, I don't know what that means, so I'm going to pick a guy.
Interesting. Okay. But you have the option.
Yeah, I think what that middle option is like based on how you played the game up till now, it picks a guy or girl. I don't know.
That sounds very interesting. I have no idea how that works, but okay. That's at least you got options. That's what I want.
You got options, yeah. And again, the other thing is, last thing is similar to the PS5. There's a ton of accessibility options and a ton of interface options. You can turn on and off almost anything, like compass, health bars. Little pro tip quests. Turn that off, and you essentially can like have almost nothing on the screen or nothing on the screen. It's really, really good. Colorblind mode is in it. Tons of stuff. It's fucking great.
Excellent. Sounds excellent. Can't wait to check it out.
What?
Sorry. I'm getting some off-screen interference here. But that sounds like an amazing game. And anything Witcher. Like, I'm up for Witcher. I'm up for something in that vein. I haven't really been an Assassin's Creed person for a while. I was gonna do the jump with Odyssey, because the Greek thing was really appealing to me. But I think that maybe I'll hold off on that, and maybe I'll do this one instead, because I really like The Witcher a lot, and something in that ballpark would be good. How many hours deep are you?
I just got it. 6, 7, something like that.
Okay. Maybe I'll hold off to see how long it takes you to get through, because I kind of don't want to like play anything really huge right now, because I'm kind of keeping my schedule open until Cyberpunk drops. But if I could squeeze it in and wrap it up before Cyberpunk hits, maybe I will.
I really am going to try, because it is a more like, again, the main quest leads you to the main quest, right? It doesn't go like, and now go do whatever you want. It's like, no, you probably should do this part, because you need to know what's going to happen. So I'm going to, similar to Watch Dogs Legion, but earlier, I'm going to try to beeline this, and I'll let you know how long it takes me.
Deal. All right, that sounds wonderful. And now we must wrap up this show. Folks, thank you very much for listening. As always, before we leave, we will ask you to send in your questions and comments. Hit us up, sovideogamespodcast@gmail.com. We are on Twitter as a show at So Video Games collectively, but you can hit us up individually. Carlos, where can people find you this week?
I don't know. Why is it a different thing each time? Just Twitter. ONAWA.
Excellent. And as for me, same as always, Twitter and Instagram, BRADGALLAWAY, all A's, no O's. And that's going to do it for episode 206. Thank you again for joining us here on So Video Games, folks. We will be back before you know it. But in the meantime, this is Bye from Brad.
And this is I Challenge You, Brad Galloway, to a flight after this episode. Carlos.
Whose charisma is going to go up? Probably yours.
I don't know. I'm not good at rhyming.